"Come over to Louisville and help us," was the call Wayman L. Rogers heard in a dream in the summer of 1956 while pastoring in Owensboro, Kentucky. In answer to that call, the first service of Evangel Tabernacle was held in July of 1957 with 9 people in attendance, 4 of which were his own family. From the beginning, Evangel's mission has been to reach the city and impact the world with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Since those early days, almost 60 years ago, God has enabled this mission to be carried out one step at a time. In a season when the church seemed to be losing more than it was gaining, Pastor W. L. Rogers inquired of God what should he do to reverse the negative growth of the church. God specifically instructed a challenge be given to the people to pray an hour a day. That marked a turnaround for Evangel. This dedication to make prayer a focal point was then and remains today the strength that propels Evangel World Prayer Center.
In 1988, Pastor Wayman Rogers was unexpectedly called to heaven. Since then, Dr. Bob Rogers has carried on this legacy, and God has increased the scope of reach for the church and ministries. The very first new ministry Dr. Rogers birthed was opened 6 weeks after his late father's homegoing. It was in response to a note found in his father's Bible expressing a prayer that he desired to begin a place to feed the hungry and those in need. In his writing, W.L. said, "I will call it the Lord's Kitchen." The Lord's Kitchen opened Christmas Day 1988 and was later selected as one of President Bush's points of light due to its excellence in serving the physical and spiritual needs of many in this city. Today, the Lord's Kitchen has served over 6 million meals. The vision of this ministry could not have been complete without the founding of strong Christian education. From the beginning of a preschool and kindergarten in 1959, Evangel Christian School has grown today to be K through 12 with a high academic recognition. 50% of the most recent graduating class earned college credit during their senior year in a dual credit program, and over 80% earned college scholarships. Evangel Christian College, associated with the fully accredited School of Urban Ministries, is training men and women in practical ministry to fulfill the call of God on their lives.
The mission to reach has inspired the establishment of extension campuses, which allows us to exceed beyond the walls of the main church into communities and surrounding cities that would not otherwise attend the church. One of these extension churches is the Corner of Hope and is a part of the multifaceted ministry campus in the west end of Louisville. This is the second location of the Lord's Kitchen. It also houses a rehab center for men and women whose lives have been affected by addiction, and Hope Housing, apartments for homeless veterans. Seeing God establish His kingdom in the lives of hurting men and women is the focus of the Corner of Hope. The Corner of Hope is a hub from which 1.2 million pounds of food is given away annually.
In 1985, the church filed for a radio station, and after much prayer and work, the license for WJIE-FM was granted a year later. During that season, Dr. Bob joined with his father to birth a TV station in the Louisville market, WBNA. The airwaves in the city were being claimed for the gospel. These would be the first of many stations that are spreading the truth of Jesus around the world. The most recent launch is Holy Land Broadcasting. It is the only on-the-ground radio broadcast station in the Holy Land.
Believing in the power of prayer and having a vision for church growth, the Rogers have found inspiration through the years from Dr. David Young-E Cho and in being associated with Church Growth International. The influence of this great group of ministers and Dr. Cho led Dr. Bob Rogers to found Church Growth International of the Americas to serve as a fellowship for like believers from all over the North American continent. Today, the mission to reach the city and impact the world is still being fulfilled as Dr. Bob and Margaret Rogers leads countless lives into the power of fasting, prayer, faith, and the empowerment of the Holy Spirit.